There are three ways you can grow your immigration business in 2026. In this episode, we're going to unpack in depth those three ways that you can implement starting today. Welcome back to my Talk with Elena podcast, the podcast for immigration business owners. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about three main methods that you can implement today to really start growing your business. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. So, the method number one that everybody always kind of sees is increasing your visibility, increasing eyes on your business, just literally getting more eyes on your business, right? So when we're thinking about growing our business, we're thinking always about having more consultations, having more cases, having more followers, having more video views, having more of those things. And absolutely, that is a legitimate way to grow your business, right? So if you post on social media and currently you have, I don't know, like 10 consultations per month, then if you like double up on that posting, you have some successful posts with a lot of views, you double up on your marketing efforts, maybe you do some webinars, some seminars, maybe some collaborations, then absolutely you can probably grow your consultations from like 10 to 20, right? And that is like really a legitimate way to grow your business. It really double up on your visibility, on number of people that really just see you every day. And for a lot of you, that is an answer, especially if you are just starting out. If you don't really have visibility or your visibility is pretty limited, then probably that would be number one way you should be considering growing your business. Now, when we talk about like increasing number of eyes on your business or increasing your visibility, there are three really main ways that you can do it. Number one, you can build your audience. Number two, you can buy your audience. And number three, you can borrow your audience. So when we say getting more eyes on your business, it doesn't always mean just, posting content, getting views or getting likes or getting followers. It doesn't always mean only that. So let's unpack those three ways. So number one is to build your audience. So that is definitely something that is very much important and something that you can do. You can continue building or maybe start building your YouTube channel or your TikTok or your Instagram or maybe your email list, right? You can start building your own audience. Now, that takes persistence, that takes time, that takes, of course, consistency and effort. Now, the payoff is really, really big, right? When you build your audience, you really have that audience to market to all the time. That is your audience to really, to offer help, to offer your services. And it's going to really benefit your business in the long run. Now, building your audience, so meaning like posting content and posting and being out there and building your maybe LinkedIn presence. That's not the only way you can you can increase number of eyes on your business. Way number two would be actually buying audience. So one of the most successful, and I'm not really into that, like I haven't really paid for any paid ads like in substantial way. Yes, I tested it, I played with it, I've had a couple of successful stories and a couple of failures with paid ads, but I've never really invested it in long term because, to be honest with you, I'm an organic girl. I believe in organic audience because that audience really, really trusts you. Now, that being said, it doesn't have to be only like that. Along with building your own audience, you can buy audience by offering them workshops. And what that means is that you essentially can run ads, whether on social media or on Google or whatever you see fit, whatever makes sense. And you can present a free workshop or free webinar or free masterclass to this audience. So you basically run ads. Usually you would invest about I would say maybe about like $10 per day, something like it can be $5 to $10 per day at a minimum. $5 to $10 per day to run ads, to invite people to your free webinar, invite people to your free masterclass, free workshop. And in that free workshop, you can nurture this new audience that you bought essentially. And then that can convert into further consultations, and it can convert into retainer agreements, right? So that's a second way that can be as a standalone strategy, but also probably would be more effective if you pair it up with organic building audience, like organic audience growth. And then the third way would be borrowing audience, which is by far my favorite way to do any sort of business, especially if you're just starting out, especially, or if you just don't have audience. Borrowing audience, that means securing podcasts with maybe some English teachers or English schools, or French teachers of French schools, securing events, webinars with them, inviting them to collaborate on social media, doing Instagram lives with them. Those people that are, and it doesn't have to be obviously English teachers or French teachers, that's just an example. There are many, 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 nonprofit organizations and just organizations and other RCICs and immigration lawyers and other firms that would be more than happy to collaborate with you. I do it all the time with other RCICs, and that way you actually get in front of other person's audience. That person probably spent some very significant amount of time building and nurturing their audience. And let's just say if you ask Jen to show up on her, let's say, Instagram channel. Maybe Jen is an influencer. Maybe Jen is an international student in Canada who started blogging, and she's an influencer and she has significant audience on Instagram. And you say like, hey, Jen, what about we do Instagram Live? You show up on Instagram Live, you talk a little bit about immigration, you show your personality, your expertise, your leadership in that live video, and the followers, the audience of Jen would be like, hey, I've been following Jen for a while. She's so trustworthy. And who is this person? Who is this immigration consultant? And that way, they would also be probably considering following you. Probably they would consider contacting you. Probably they would be interested. Like, you will be in front of those people's eyes. So that is what borrowing audience is about. So let's track back a little bit. So basically, number one big way to grow your business in 2026, it doesn't fit this way, it doesn't fit everyone, but for a lot of you, that would be the way to grow your business, is actually to get more visibility, more eyes on your business. And you can do so by either building audience, buying audience, or borrowing audience, or any combination of those three. So that is a one major way. Now, way number two that you can do today to grow your business in 2026 would be to increase your pricing. And that goes hand in hand with also reconsidering, maybe changing, maybe adjusting your offers. So AKA case types that you're targeting or that you want to handle. So increasing pricing for those case types that you actually want to handle, and eliminating those case types that you don't feel like it makes sense to handle. So reconsidering, re-auditing your pricing, and reconsidering, re-auditing your offer suite. So your case types that you really want to get cases for, you want to get clients for. So now this is the biggest probably hesitation that I get from RCICs all the time. Now, I want to be very clear. This is a very easy way to grow your business in 2026. You increase your prices by 10%, your business grows by 10% in 2026, right? This is by far the easiest way to grow your business. Yet, it's actually the hardest way to overcome that barrier of increasing your prices. And you know what? I get it because it's scary. Because most of us business owners, we price our products based out of fear of leaving money on the table, out of fear of hearing no from clients, out of fear of maybe not being too fair with our pricing or charging too much or quote unquote ripping clients off. We a lot of pricing decisions we do really out of fear. We also look at our colleagues, our CACs, and a lot of times we price our products just because the person next door prices their services that way. You would go around and you would ask me, Alana, how much you charge for express entry? You would go on websites of different immigration consultants and law firms, and you would research how much people really charge for their work, and you would look at them and you would see if it's fair the way that you're pricing your offers, and you would look at them and you would price your services the same way, right? And a lot of times, like, that's really really what we do. We're driven by fear, we're driven also by looking at others and what others do, right? And then another thing, I have some notes here. That's why if you're watching this on YouTube and you see me looking down, that's why. But that is also a big hesitation inside of us, because a lot of us pricing our services lower, or we're really like hesitating of increasing prices, even if you haven't increased prices in 10 years or in 5 years. I know RCICs who haven't increased prices in 10 years, literally. Maybe it's because you deep down don't believe that the service that you provide or the expertise that you provide is really worth it. Maybe you just don't believe that what you deliver, it's really going to worth it for the person, and they will see what they're paying for, right? And that's why we're oftentimes being caught up in a cycle of actually over delivering, because we don't feel like what we produce, what service we offer actually is worthwhile. Or maybe you're hesitant to increasing your pricing because you really believe that you need to work a lot and really really hard in order to justify every single dollar you make. So if you increase your pricing and you charge what may seem an exorbitant fee for, spousal sponsorship, that all of a sudden it would feel like you're almost like scamming people, because you feel like that money came to you too easy and you didn't work hard enough on earning that money. You don't feel like if you charge all of a sudden $6,000 for spousal sponsorship, you don't feel like you would have that feeling of like, I've earned that, right? Because in your mind, every single dollar needs to be justified by an extremely extremely hard work. And that's one of the very big things that I come across as, and and I have that as well, by the way. And I'm no stranger, I'm not talking from a high horse here, I'm no stranger to all of these things. Now, a lot of times we're also basing our pricing out of hours of work and not out of impact that it makes. So let me give you an example. For example, if you need to apply for restoration of state status for, I don't know, like a work permit for somebody. And you're like, we know that restoration of status for a work permit, let's say it's a bridging open work permit based on express entry application. We all know that it's like, in terms of hours of work, like it's pretty straightforward. Like it's pretty simple application, bridging open work permit, restoration of status. Like if there are no like weird things happening and like weird stuff, like usually, well, how long it's gonna really take you? Like if you don't have a legal assistant with all the like filling out forms and like all the stuff, 2 hours, like that's me being generous. Like 2 hours is probably what's going to take you. Like, okay, even if you're like really really like going into super like detailed work, or maybe there are some complications, okay, 3 hours, right? So yet a lot of people I would see would price that service at a like $800 or $1,000 or $1,200. Now, I do want you to step back a little bit and think about the impact that that application correctly filed is actually going to make for the your client's life. So that person is restoring their status to a worker. That person has this, number one, this is the last chance before they have to leave Canada. If they have a family, if they have kids, they probably would have to pull kids out of school. If they have to leave Canada, they probably have to, do all of these crazy things, like break their rent that comes with penalties a lot of times, breaking rent, right? If they have to leave Canada. So that's their last shot, regardless of the fact that they have PR in process. Like if their restoration is refused, or if they don't apply for restoration, like they have to leave Canada. That comes with huge emotional, but also financial consequences. Number two, when that restoration is approved, that person is going to get to go to work and is going to get to earn income at a minimum wage. That would be at least what, like $3,000-4,000 of income per month. So that person possibly, like you giving the ability for that person to possibly gain tens of thousands of dollars of income, tens of thousands of dollars of income. And if that restoration application is not going to go through for whatever reason, then that's tens of thousands of dollars of lost income. And I've seen that. I've seen literally a person who has been in this exact situation, who lost about $80,000 in lost income and had to go back home. But if they contacted us earlier, like, well, they didn't know about us earlier, but if they contacted us earlier, they would have saved literally $80,000, right? So this is an impact that your work is making. Like, I'm not like, that is a financial impact. There's a lot of emotional impact that's probably is even more important, right? But this is an impact. So pricing that work at $800 based on the fact that, well, I'm only going to spend 2 hours here, doesn't really make sense, right? You're not selling hours of your work. You're selling your expertise, you're selling your knowledge, you're selling your actually confidence to get that person to the finish line. You're selling the how confident you are that like it's actually like, if you hire me, well, the likelihood is that things are going to work out because I know what I'm doing, right? So that is the mindset that probably we should tap into this year. So let's talk a little bit more about increasing your pricing, right? Increasing your pricing is like a very straightforward way. And I'm not saying to check up your prices, right? But I'm saying that it's like legitimately the most straightforward way to grow your business this year. And one thing that I want to challenge you is these questions. Question number one: when last time you increased your prices? When was the last time? I mean, for retainer agreements, right? Well, for consultations as well, but I feel like retainer agreements is very much more impactful to bring your business revenue. When was the last time? I know RCIC that was practicing 10 years ago. So I started practicing 10 years ago. She was practicing 10 years ago. And at that time, I very much remember that she was charging $3,500 for spousal sponsorship. Guess how much she's charging for spousal sponsorship today in 2026? $3,500. So 10 years ago, she was charging $3,500 for spousal sponsorship. Today, in 2026, she's charging $3,500 for spousal sponsorship. Like, I'm sorry, but this is insane. Like, prices in the grocery store have changed. Prices everywhere have changed. Like, you cannot charge the price tag that was there 10 years ago. You just can't, because your bottom line is not at the same level that it was 10 years ago. Is it? Right? The salaries, like 10 years ago, minimum wage was what, $14 an hour? Now it's 18. Well, that is a quiet a difference. If you're employing legal assistant, admins, and any other employees, your bottom line have not stayed the same throughout the last several years. It has not actually stayed the same since 2023, 2022, 2021. Probably even since 2025, because we're already in 2026, right? So that is one question, is that when was the last time you considered it? And if it was quite long ago, so I would say if it was more than 1 year ago, then can you tell me, what is that being the case out of fear of not having clients, out of fear hearing no, out of fear that you are being unfair to your clients because you are quote unquote ripping them off, out of fear of all of these things, right? And I want you to challenge you to think about this. Is it like, as I was talking about pricing, was it something that came up for you? Was it something that stuck? Something that I said that was like, oh, she hit nail in the head. Like, that's exactly like my feeling. That so I would encourage you to have this as an opportunity to actually think, okay, like, yeah, that really, really like came up for me. And I would challenge you to have this as an opportunity to start digging deeper into that feeling and like actually uncovering that. Why is that so? Why is it feeling that increasing pricing actually feeling anxious for you? Like, is that because somebody told you that you charge too much? Is that because you think that you charge too much? Is that because you don't want to lose that money, right? So that's my challenge for today. And another challenge, so that's the last one about pricing. The last challenge would be to think about your colleagues and think about one question. Why somebody, RCIC, that maybe you know, that you would consider a good professional, good immigration consultant or a lawyer, why that person, somebody, can charge maybe $2,000 or $2,500 or maybe $3,000 for spousal sponsorship? And on another side, think about another RCIC, somebody again that you know and you think they're doing good work and you trust, and you think that both of them are pretty competent, like pretty good people that do good work. Another one can charge $6,000. So one, two, $3,000, another one $6,000. I don't know if you have any people in your mind as I'm talking right now, but I certainly, through my work, like through talking to many RCCs on daily basis, just because of my work, I certainly know many people that would fall in either of these buckets. In essence, they provide the same service, the same competent service. Just a little bit of sidetracking here. I'm obviously not talking about people who charge money but they don't know what they're doing. Like, I'm talking about good RCICs that do good work, good job, and we all know those. And there are many good colleagues that we have. Some yet charge $2,000-$3,000 for spousal sponsorship, for example, or any other really process, and some would charge $6,000. What is the difference here, and why this is happening, and why people are still paying $2,000-$3,000 and people are still paying $6,000? So I'm not going to give you an answer here, but I want you to think about what would be the difference between those two people? All right. Okay, and let's dive into the third important way that you can grow in 2026. And it's going to get a little bit tactical, but the third way that you can grow is increasing your conversion. So, number one way that you can grow was increasing your visibility and number of eyes that see your business every single day. Number two was increasing your pricing. And number three is actually increasing your conversion. So, to make it a little bit easier to explain this, I have an example. So, this is RCIC that I'm working with inside one of my programs. And I have here numbers just to explain why increasing conversion rate and what conversion rate is can be an answer for you. So let's just say, so this RCIC that I'm working with, on average, throughout all of their social media, throughout all of their work, like marketing work, on average, they get about 1 million views per month. Okay. Sometimes, some months less, some months more, some months it can be like 800,000 or even 500,000. Some months they would have like a video going viral or post going viral or whatever the case, and they would get like 1.5 million views. But if we take 1 year and we just see the average, they get roughly about 1 million views across all platforms. So that means that 1 million times somebody saw their content. It's not 1 million people, but it's 1 million times the content appeared, right? Like in the feed. So some educational videos, some educational posts, whatever it is, right? So out of that 1 million views, this exact person and I have numbers here. Okay. This exact person got getting about, again, it's on average, but about 1,000 clicks on the link, book a consultation. Okay, so 1 million views across all platforms, and then across all platforms like, you know, Instagrams and TikToks and whatever, they get about 1,000 clicks on the link, book a consultation. So it's not 1,000 people again, but it's 1,000 clicks. So people clicked 1,000 times on the link, book a consultation. What that means? That means that they were interested. So whoever viewed their video was interested to book a consultation. So now, out of 1,000 clicks, this exact person has about, on average, we average things out, about 20 consultations per month. So 1,000 clicks, so 1,000 times somebody was interested to book a consultation. Now, out of 1,000 times, 20 times per month. So all these numbers per month, 1 million views per month, 1,000 clicks per month, 20 times per month, the transaction of booking a paid consultation went through. So this person gets on average 20 consultations per month. So out of 1,000 clicks, 20 consultations is about 2%, right? So 2% of those clicks converted to be 20 consultations. So now we're going to go a little bit deeper. Out of that 20 consultations, we have on average about 5 consultations that are what I call green consultations. So what green consultations mean is consultations from people that have good cases, that if they were to agree for your quote and ask for a retainer agreement, like you would be happy to accept them as clients. Okay. So out of 25 consultations were like good, like, oh man, like I would love to get these people as a client. Other consultations, other 15, right, were either red or yellow. So red is usually consultations that like you just don't want those people as clients because they don't really have any pathway to PR, or it's just people that you don't work with, or whatever the case is. And then yellow consultations are consultations, those that are maybe, the person would be a good future client, but they still need to maybe retake their English, or maybe they need to I don't know, like finish master degree in Canada, or they still need to like do whatever it takes to get to the point that you are ready to accept them as a client. Okay, so out of this person, on average, out of 20 consultations, gets 5 that that person potentially can sign on as clients, right? Like, okay, I'm ready. So like your spousal sponsorship, already married to Canadian, let's go. Or your express entry, you have 530 points, let's go. Or you're a French speaker in express entry pool with whatever, like 400, high 400 points, like, let's go, right? Like these are like people that I want to sign retainer agreements today. So this person gets 5 of those out of 20. So that is 25%, right? Like quarter of 20, 25%. So conversion rate from 20 overall number of consultations to good consultations, like green good consultations, is 25%. And then one step further is that out of those 5 consultations, this person on average gets about 2 to 3, depending on the months, retainer agreements. Okay, so that's more than 50% conversion rate, right? So, which is very good. By the way, it's considered to be very good to have more than 50% conversion rate from your good consultations, green consultations, to retainer agreements. So 2 to 3 retainer agreements. Okay, so now let's kind of backtrack and talk about what's the goal here. So the goal here for this person came to me and said, like, Olena, I get 2 to 3 retainer agreements. Like, that is not enough for me. Like, my goal is to have 500,000 of revenue per year. I calculated my stuff. For that, I need at least 10 retainer agreements per month. And it's just, I have 2 or 3, right? And I feel like I'm doing everything. I'm like posting and I'm getting views and everything, and I'm having consultations, but it's just I don't get 10 retainer agreements per month. So what the solution here, let's go back to like our main thing, right? The main way to one of the 3 ways, right, to increase your business or to grow your business in 2026 is increase your conversion rate. So this person already has like 1 million views. I mean, yes, you could potentially say like we need to increase visibility. You could. So you increase visibility, you increase number, like let's say you increase visibility from 1 million to 2 million. Let's say it's not easy, but 1 million to 2 million. And then that would increase naturally number of clicks. So the clicks would probably double as well from 1,000 to 2,000, right? Then number of consultations will probably double from 20 to 40. And number of retainer agreements probably will double from like, 2 to 4, like 4 to 6 consultations, retainer agreements this person would have, right? But number 1, it's still not meeting their goal because this person wants 10 retainer agreements. Number 2, this person would be burning out. Why? Because they need to produce way more content, like they need to put way more effort into their marketing because they need to increase views, right? How do you do that? You do that by producing better content, more content, learning, and all that kind of stuff, right? And then this person would have to do twice more consult. Like, guys, 40 consultations per month is a lot. Like, it's a lot, okay? There's no reason this person needs to do 40 consultations per month. So that gives us a clue that increasing visibility is probably not the best case here, right? What you may want to do is actually increase those conversion rates. So 1 million views is still a lot because this person gets 1,000 clicks on the link, book a consultation. This person gets 1,000 clicks. That's a lot of clicks. Now, out of those 1,000 clicks, we have 20 consultations booked, which is 2% conversion rate. What if we just increase that just a little bit? We don't increase marketing, we don't increase output, we just increase 2% to, let's say, 2.5% or to 3%, right? To get a little bit more consultations. Now, let's say we increase it to 3%. Now, they get 30 consultations, all right? Now, out of 30 consultations, what would be the number of green consultations? So previously, their conversion rate was 25%. So 25%, like 25% of 30, that would be number of green consultations. What if we increase that percentage? If we work hard to increase that percentage to 50%? So half of consultations actually green. So out of 30 consultations, we would get actually 15 good green clients. We would get 15 spousal sponsorships. We would get 15 express entry and high points. We would get 15 of those clients that we would love to work today. And then 15 consultations, if half of those close, then they would have already like 7 or 8 retainer agreements per month, right? So look what happened here. And I know it's getting, especially if you're listening, it's in the car, if you're driving or grocery shopping. I know a lot of people listen to this when they're grocery shopping. I know it gets technical. You may want to like even get a pen and a paper. Like I'm highly visual, but what's happening here really is that we are not changing our marketing output. We're not increasing visibility. Number of eyes on your business is going to stay the same. What we're changing is essentially quality of your interactions with people. So we're increasing quality, like out of those people who clicked on booking page, more people will actually book consultation with you. Out of those people who booked consultation with you, more people would be high quality clients with good life cases that you want to undertake today, not in the future, but today, right? So increasing those conversion rate. How? That's a different question. How you're going to increase the quality of the consultations or cases that you are consulting, how you're going to do it, that's a different question, probably by changing your marketing content. So the goal here is not to increase visibility, it's not to increase numbers. That's not the goal. The goal here is to actually increase quality, increase trust. If people trust you more, then they will book, or you will sell better, essentially, right? If you pivot what you talk about on social media, then you will get better quality consultations. If you pivot how you present yourself, how you present your content, you talk about what other immigrations consultants don't talk. You say things that other people don't say. If you show things that other people don't show, if you sell like other people don't sell, then absolutely you will increase conversion rates, because trust is ultimate goal here. And I love this one quote, and I don't remember where I heard it, but don't optimize for views, don't optimize for sales, optimize for trust, and you will always grow your business. And that's what increasing conversion rates is really all about. It's not about more, 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 more. It's not about that. Maybe you already have enough. Maybe you already have like the current efforts, you just need to sustain them. You just need to keep doing what you're doing in terms of your marketing. You already maybe built audience, you maybe already got those views, but you need to nurture them more. You need to get people to trust you more. You need to maybe pivot to different topics. Think out of the box. Think about what kind of consultations you're trying to get and really niche down to those. So you're increasing the number of those consultations that are high quality, that are, that I would, in my system, I would consider green, right? So that is what increasing conversion is about. All right, we've been talking for long enough now. So I want to encourage you to think about which one of those three things, increasing visibility, increasing pricing, or increasing conversion slash trust, is really speaking to you, and which way, or maybe a combination of couple of ways, you're going to pursue in 2026. And if you feel like this was useful, if you feel like you just want to dig more into marketing, you want to dig deeper into it, I really want you to download my brand new, or sign up, I guess, for my brand new masterclass. It's a brand new, I should call it really workshop, because it's not really about like listening to me, it's about doing stuff. And this new workshop is about 3-step reset of your marketing. So you can go in the description and find the link there if you want to have my 3-step marketing reset workshop. Then please go click the link, sign up, you'll have access to it. It's not about just me blabbing and blabbing like I've been in this podcast, but it's actually about you taking an action and getting clarity on resetting your marketing, how you can reset your marketing for the year ahead. And I really, really am excited for you to check out this brand new workshop. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to me. And I hope that you found this useful. If you have any questions or any comments, you're always more than welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Thank you so much, and stay tuned to the next episode.